I'm here at METSTRADE 2022 with Ed Colby on the Cyclops marine stand. And one of the things about Cyclops, we've seen it a lot on the racing sailors, really at the high-end Grand Prix. But what do the Cyclops sensors provide for ordinary sailors, maybe part-time racers, but also cruisers? And Ed's going to describe a bit more about that.
So yeah, it's interesting. We're seeing a lot of the performance sailors get a lot of value out of more data. Everyone's becoming very data-driven at the top end, and that's creating an awful lot of performance improvement in sails. People are refining their sails very quickly. The question is, how do you get the most out of those sails as a non-professional sailor? And what we can do with our sensors is provide those numbers that give you the exact answer to how to drive them properly and get the very best value out of your new suite of sails. If you're in the middle of the fleet, this is what allows you to achieve your best performance every weekend.
And why is now specifically a good time to install sensors? What's changed elsewhere in the sailing market?
Well, it's that very thing about the sail technology improving. The engine above the deck is becoming much more sophisticated than it used to be. And that performance point is a much more subtle thing to achieve. But with the right data and knowledge from the sail makers, you can use this kind of technology to hit that real performance mark, the right place to change gear, if you like, in the boat, how to get the real rev counter.
And one of your more recent innovations is a load pin, and that was nominated for a prestigious Dame Award. What applications does that have?
So obviously load pins have been used in performance and racing sailing for a long, long time. What we've managed to do is take some of the wireless technology and the really good improvements in that measurement technology and battery technology and build it into the pin. And the great thing about that is it allows us to put the pin in applications on things like cruising catamarans, to put it in as a really nice, attractive installation without a whole lot of invasive wire drilling and changes to the boat. And the key thing that gives is it allows us to do things like safety warning systems on those boats, to provide much more feedback about what the rig's doing on a platform which is much less able to provide real-time feedback to the sailor. So if you're coming from a monohull world and into a cruising catamaran world, what the measurement systems can do is give you the feedback that the heel of the boat would give you on a monohull, but on that much more stable platform.
Cyclops Marine is a relatively young company, but you've come a long way in a short space of time. Can you tell me a bit about the story of Cyclops?
It starts off with a simple request. Can you measure the forestay tension on a small, J70, a small racing boat? And of course, when you try and do that, that presents a whole lot of challenges. It's a wet environment. It's not good for putting high-tech electronics. But when you start to solve those sorts of problems, the solutions you come up with in those really challenging places and allow you to develop on and build products that go onto high performance boats. We've done work helping America's Cup teams. We're now being used on mockers and in those really challenging sailing conditions. And those attributes of the product, the real robustness and the accuracy and the longevity, allow us to really help out in this instrumenting the whole of the rig thing.
And progression seems to be fast in this field. What next?
Well, of course, once you can do this, there are other things to measure. What you don't want to do, of course, is flood people with data. The only thing, data is only useful if it gives guidance and advice on how to improve your sailing. I think our products help you nail that forestay tension thing. They help you drive the rig properly for the right conditions in the right wind environment. The question is, once you've got the forestay rig bit right, there are other things to tune, and all the professional sailors know about tuning, how to tune the top of the mainsail, what the right way to balance the sail is. It's how to, again, get those tools and knowledge in the hands of the rest of us who aren't quite that gifted. And so we're taking the package of instrumentation and measurement systems we've got and putting them into other places in the rig.
And so also making that data more understandable for sailors, I guess.
I think when we started out, we knew that having some data was going to be interesting, but we didn't know how it was going to be interesting. Almost every interaction, every engagement we have with our customers reveals to us how to understand the data and get more and more value out of it. And so we embed that back in the product. So with the safety warning system, it's a really nice, simple feedback system. It's not a bunch of numbers. It's a simple gauge. And that kind of, that comes from customers. It comes from what customers want from it. Simplicity. But that simplicity takes a lot of insight, data, knowledge, and working with customers to develop. Yep.
Well, Ed, it's been fascinating to follow the Cyclops story and see the latest products that have come along. So many thanks indeed for your time.
I think 2023 is going to be quite exciting. There's some new things coming through. So, yeah, watch this space. It'll be fun.
Thank you.